Whoa, yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. They beat me to the punch. That's how good this crowd is. That's how good this crowd is. I didn't even have to say get ready for Facebook. They just leaped at it. Wow. Okay, so I'm Dr. Brett Spradlin. This is Divine Design Natural Health. We are at another installment of wellness workshops. These complimentary events that we put on for the community. It's basically about the only advertising that we really do. It's kind of a promotional thing, but really we do it because it's in our heart to just put this out there in the community and let people know that there are answers to your questions. It doesn't matter. The answer is out there. The answer's always been there. You've just been led to believe that it's either really complicated or that the answer can't be known or that it's genetic or that you have no business knowing or whatever. Well, we're here to spell that, to spell out the truth behind that. And the truth is that you don't have to be sick. The truth is that 90% of the time it's what we're doing to ourselves. We're going to get into what I mean by that here in just a minute. Everyone's done their name tags. Good, good, good. Oh, we got everybody signed up for any drawings. We're doing giveaways. When we sign off with Facebook, we do giveaways and things like that. You're completing the sugar quiz. Anyone who's new. Hi, Colleen. Good to see you again. You're from a long way away. Yeah? Yeah. Good to see you again. So, Alondra, can you have Hannah grab the testimonials real quick? I just realized I left them in my office. We went through the catalyzing statement, the Vitamix giveaway. I don't want to forget about that. There's in the folder a Vitamix giveaway. We're going to be talking about these tonight, strangely enough, and that's what these are right here. This is a Vitamix. How many of you know what a Vitamix is? Good, fabulous. Or there's other manufacturers or whatever. But Vitamix is what I recommend just because they've been around forever and they're great. Hold on one sec. Okay. Oh, you found them. Great. I thought I left them on a different spot. Thank you, darling. We'll get to those in just a minute. This is Nutritional Upgrades 2.0. We called this Nutritional Upgrades because there are just so many great ways so many great things for you to use, to lean on, so much technology out there. It's almost a crime that so many people are so sick nowadays, knowing what's out there to be used. Some big things, some smaller things, but all of these things can change your life in a minute. So we're going to talk about some of those tonight. I want to show you and tell you, we went through the folder with just a brief overview of some of the testimonials in there, and I told you about the referral system, the folders that we have on the wall out there. And just to get you kind of clued into what all of this can mean to your health, I'll read you some testimonials that we've gotten just from the last week. We had to cut them down. We had probably 15 or I don't know how many, but we selected, I think, 7 right here, just testimonials. This is just from the last week. Let's see. I was already experiencing so many health breakthroughs, from skin issues to allergy symptoms, health breakthroughs, skin issues and allergy symptoms were disappearing. But now, she's a pregnant, one of our pregnant patients. She said, being pregnant, I'm amazed that I feel even better. I'm sorry, I screwed up that whole thing. She said I was already experiencing so many health breakthroughs. And then she goes on to say all of her allergy symptoms were disappearing and all that. But she says, but now, being pregnant, I'm amazed that I feel even better than I have in my entire adult life. It's crazy because so many people talk about how sick or in pain they were during pregnancy. How many of you have heard that before? Yeah. It's like somebody gets pregnant and all of a sudden everything falls apart. I'm confident that nutrition and healthy alignment have made me and my baby strong and full of life. That changes not just mom, but that changes baby. That changes an entire future of baby, entire family right there. Big deal. She's been with us for a while. This is, okay, she just started with us about 2 weeks ago. For 5 years, I suffered from debilitating IBS flare-ups on a weekly basis. Oh, thank you, thank you. IBS flare-ups. How many of you know what that is? IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. On again, off again, diarrhea, constipation, not very fun. Can't go out of the house sometimes. Definitely don't want to get on a plane, know what I mean? Suffered from debilitating IBS flare-ups on a weekly basis that restricted me to the nearest restroom. I'd wake up dreading my day and not wanting to venture too far from home. That's debilitating. That's not good. Since starting the program, I felt so much more freedom to live joyfully. I've gone 3 whole weeks without a painful flare-up. That really shows me that I'm on the right track to healing. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. Here's before, had a heart attack and 4 bypass surgeries, and now, oh, this guy, yeah, went to a cardiologist yesterday, and the doctor cleared my heart. He said my EKG was great, everything sounds great, see you next year. Heart attack and 4 bypasses. Yeah, that's a wow, absolutely. So before, tired and couldn't sleep, or sleep was interrupted, and now, after 3 weeks and day 8 of the purification, which we're going to talk about with the, oh, thank you. After 3 weeks, so before, just back up, before she was tired and couldn't sleep, or sleep was interrupted. How many of you know that when your sleep's interrupted and you can't sleep, the big thing about that, yeah, it's debilitating and it's interruptive to your life, but you can't heal. If you don't sleep, your body doesn't heal. So that's why the insomnia thing is a bad deal. It's a bad deal. It's a bad shake. Tired and couldn't sleep, or her sleep was interrupted. So now, she says after 3 weeks and day 8 of the purification, which you're going to learn what that is here in a minute, we're going to explain what the purification is. I'm feeling incredible. Can't wait to finish the 21 days of the purification, but I already have a ton of energy and I'm sleeping much better. How many of you in here have done the purification and had similar or the same results? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I know you've done it. 5, 6. Not yet. You're on your way. That's where you're heading. And you. Yes. Okay. I pointed at you. That's right. Okay. Next. I think this is the last one. Almost last. Oh, this gentleman just started with us. I was about 15 pounds overweight, having some digestive problems. Now, I've lost approximately 7 pounds, and my bloating has been reduced drastically after 1 week of taking supplements and exercising. That right there, overweight and having some digestive problems, that would be a drug or a bevy of drugs or a surgery or who knows. But he was in the ballpark for that. Before, I was a mess. And now, that's what she said, not me. My hair is growing, my overall pain level's better. I know this is working as the tumors continue to come, but they're bursting more often and releasing the infection. Oh, okay. I know this is necessary to get better. One more note. I came today with a headache. I'm leaving without it. What more can I say? How nice is that? It's a gift that we have here, that we can watch people walk out of here better than they were when they walked in. That's a beautiful thing. Last one. Yes. Last one. I've struggled with constipation. How many of you know that's a game changer too? The insomnia thing. What about constipation? What about if you can't get rid of the toxic leftovers that are in your body, you're going to have a bad day. Probably headaches, probably liver problems, probably some other problems in your body. That's a big deal. So I've struggled with constipation for my whole life. Dr. Brett recommended a supplement that has been very helpful, and I no longer have that struggle. And that was when she had first come in, and she said, if you get rid of my constipation, that'll be a miracle. And I said, well, that's the least of our worries. That's no problem. So that took a couple of days. So that just gives you a little bit of a clue as to what we're into here and what we're doing. Nutritional upgrades. We're going to blow through this one. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of, a lot of questions and answers on this one. But to review, we had the problems before that we had discussed in the food truth. The first class that we had in January was food truth. What do I eat? The problems we ran into with that were that people think they need to starve. If you mention a diet change, they're thinking Jenny Craig, they're thinking Weight Watchers, they're thinking any number of diet plans where they have to starve themselves and run 20 miles. Okay, that's a problem. That's one of the problems that we run into. Americans think one of the other problems that we run into, and these are all the problems that we were solving with that class, Americans think that lack of starvation is adequate nutrition. In other words, if they're not starving, then I eat pretty healthy. Well, but you have constipation. You've had constipation for 35 years. You have high blood pressure. You have depression. You've got pain all over your body. You're having heart problems now. Something is wrong. So you're not eating healthy. We need to change that. But the American idea is that if they're not starving, that their nutrition is adequate. So part of that is because of this. Doctors tell them that diet's irrelevant. I've heard so many doctors tell patients that their diet's irrelevant. I had one mom, when I first started into practice, not too long ago actually, I had one mom that said that the day that she gave up on the gastroenterologists that were treating her daughter's Crohn's disease, The day she gave up on the gastroenterologist was when she asked the gastroenterologist, do you think my daughter's Crohn's disease has anything to do with diet? And they kind of laughed at her and shrugged and said, no, there's no way. This doesn't have anything. But how many of you know what Crohn's disease is? Oh, come on in, brother. How many of you know what Crohn's disease is? Come on in. Oh, Eddie, you can sit right down here. I'll get to spit on you. Yes. Oh, no. The next person that walks in. Oh, right here. Here we go. You can come on in. Come on in. Or I'm gonna have to move some of you guys this way so people can. No. Come on over. Come on. That I do. I always want you close to me. So, Crohn's disease involves your intestines, right? So how could your intestines not be influenced by the food you eat? So just that mom alone, just a little bit of digging that she'd done. This was at the Mayo Clinic, or Johns Hopkins, I can't remember. It was one of the big hospitals. Everybody, that people move across the country to live next to once they get diagnosed. It was one of those. And she said, "That's enough for me. I'm done. I'm not listening to this anymore. It has to influence your. Nobody wants to sit next to me. I feel so unloved. No way." So that was it for her. That was it for that mom. She said she'd done enough research to understand that food had to have an integral part to play with that disease process because that's your intestines. So these are some of the problems. Remember, people think they have to starve themselves. People think that if they're not starving, that their nutrition is okay. They think that doctors are telling them that diet doesn't have anything to do with their condition. A lot of media people say that supplements aren't necessary. You have to judge between which supplements are they talking about. Are they talking about things that are store-bought on the shelf, made by the nutraceutical companies that are subsidiaries of the pharmaceutical companies, or are you talking about the things in your diet that disappeared 100 years ago that are no longer in the diet, like plants and animals, that are the majority of what we have here? So when a report comes out and says fish oil causes cancer, or supplements are worthless, you have to judge the sources of that and go, well, what's the defined supplement? It's like when they say red meat causes cancer. How many of you have heard that? Red meat, you got to have red meat. And then the next year you hear red meat causes cancer. One year you hear fish oil is great for you. The next minute you hear fish oil causes cancer. Or fish oil supplements are as worthless as the capsules that they're put in. I mean, you've heard all this, right? So all of this confusion, the big problem is that there's this massive amount of confusion. People don't understand what toxicity means. If you say something is toxic, what does that mean? It's not good for you, right? Right. If you put toxic chemicals into a living body, does that sound like it would be good for that body or bad? It's bad for that body, but people don't understand just those simple things like, okay, these air fresheners or these chemicals or these soaps or these shampoos or these cosmetics or these cleaning agents or these supplies are toxic chemicals. People don't understand that toxic outside the body is the same as toxic inside the body. It doesn't magically become better because you put it in your body or on your body. Does that make sense? So people have a misunderstanding of that. And they don't understand why that's bad. So when we talked about what do I eat, we said the big solutions that we came away from with that were confront the change, confront the personal excuses, confront the fact that we've all kind of been duped and that we didn't know this stuff. I was very into it myself. I didn't know any of this stuff years ago. But now we confront that and we go, okay, now I'm ready to do something about it. And then you just kind of pick one thing and get rid of it. If it's bad fats, if it's artificial sweeteners, if it's soy, grab one thing and say, okay, I'm just going to start getting rid of this one thing. It's super easy. Practice patience and not persistence. People just think they have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. When you start here, you've been here a while, Kim, do you eat perfectly? Do you have to? No. No. Do I tell anybody they have to eat perfectly? No, because I know they're not going to do it. So it's okay. You have to practice patience and persistence, not perfection. Okay? This is a big thing too that we pulled away from the first class, was don't let a lack of planning force you into bad decisions. How many of you know? I hear this all day. Well, I'm busy, I've got the kids, and there's soccer practice, and there's games, and then we have to be at a meeting at school, and I just ran through the drive-thru. Okay, what I hear when I hear that is we didn't plan too well. I'm not judging you. I'm not mad at you. I don't care. But what I'm hearing is this. I'm hearing that there's a lot of excuses as to why you couldn't plan ahead of time. A lot of people plan ahead of time. You know, you knew that the soccer game was going to be then. You knew you had to pick your kids up from school. You knew when dinner was, you know. So there's little things that you can do to get better at that. That's all we're saying. Don't let a lack of planning force you into making bad decisions. Because when you got a couple kids screaming from the back seat, you'll drive through, well, you'll drive through a lot of places to get them to shut up, not just a drive-through, right? I'm sure. So tailor your family's education to age and understanding, and you'll see gradual changes. So if your kids don't quite understand what bad fat is, you don't need to explain it to them. Just explain to them that the nice little pictures on the Cheerios boxes doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best food for them. Help them, you know, let them help you shopping and things like that at the grocery store. Just tailor their education, tailor the education that you're giving them to their age and to their experience, and you'll see changes. And then one thing that we picked up from the first class was have us hold you accountable for food logs, documentaries, books. That's how we teach people. Doctor means teacher. It does not mean prescriber. So when we teach people, we give them books, we give them handouts each time that they come in. We have them watch documentaries. There's a lot of things that they can do to educate themselves. And then one of the last things we picked up from that class, I almost forgot, was discern which companies out there you really want your money to go to. There are some companies out there that don't like you. There's some companies that hate you. There's some companies that feed off your sickness and don't necessarily want you to eat healthy or want you to get better. Name a vegetable or a fruit or just a plant on TV that has a commercial. You won't see one. Everything that has a commercial on television had to be processed, it had to be marketed, it had to pay, therefore, many, many people in an advertising firm, a marketing agency, or a bunch of food scientists to figure out how to dehydrate it, how to color it, how to make it acceptable for you, something that you would pick out of the bevy of other products that are on the shelves at the supermarkets. Do you get where I'm going with this? So there's a lot of people that are getting paid by these products, by the income generated by these products. So take that and flip that. What are the things that you don't see advertised on TV? Do you ever see a tomato advertised? Do you ever see kale advertised? Sandy, do you see lettuce advertised? Or onions? No. Do you see homemade salsa? A combination of those things? No. Everything that you see on TV is processed, canned, bagged, boxed, frozen, and shipped. Oh, I left out the shipping. I had the food scientists, the marketing people, the promotional people, the advertising people, the shipping people. See all the money that goes into? So when you're buying food, you're either buying nutrients or you're buying chemicals. Well, organic food is so expensive. We'll get to that. We studied that in grossiology. We'll get there here in just 1 second. So then we move down to grossiology. So I'm just doing a quick review of the last two classes. We covered how everybody saw the video of when Andrew and I went to the supermarket. Yeah? Oh, you commented on that. Yeah, you liked that one, huh? Everybody got a lot out of that. Yeah, we got a lot of comments. Good job, Andrew. Yeah, we got a lot of comments out of that. People really liked that. They actually were able to see what do you do and how do you bag it and how do you put it in your cart and all this. It was we got a lot of good feedback out of that. We discovered that a lot of coupon flyers, this is the same vein of what I was just saying. A lot of the coupon flyers at the store, at the front of the store, usually promote what? Healthy foods or unhealthy foods? Huh? Unhealthy. Why is that? They can only, right, but they can only discount it if they already marked it up. You know? So they're discounting it. They're discounting the Kraft macaroni and cheese and the Heinz ketchup and all this if there was already a little bit of margin in there for them to play with. How's that margin in there? Well, the food scientists, the shipping, the receiving, all the advertising, marketing, the $6 million Super Bowl commercial, all that. See where I'm going with this? We talked about, well, we were going to talk about this. We didn't really, I will say it though right now. We left it out of the video. But every store, every single store says, every grocery store has food and what right next to it? Pharmacy. Say it loud. Pharmacy. Pharmacy. Why would that be? Has anyone ever thought about that? Who said that? Oh, Danielle. Why would that be? Why would food and pharmacy be on the same playbill, so to speak?
I would say convenience. Make more money for them. Because they know
make more money.
Or the main.
Right. Okay. So they know people are going to need both.
So if you eat most of that food there, you're going to need something to fix it.
You got it. That's right. You ever wonder why Walgreens or CVS, you walk in and the front 75% of that store, if you work in or around or eating those 75%, for the first 50 years of your life, the last 25 years of your life will be spent in the back 25% of that store. Does that make sense? So food and pharmacy, yeah, it's, if you eat the stuff that's in the aisles, you're going to need to go to the pharmacy. But it's almost this American thing. You know, I don't know if that's in other countries or not, but pharmacy is on the same level. It's in the same, in our minds, we've been programmed. Pharmacy is in the same level of significance in our minds as food. Is it not? Food and pharmacy. Now, I'll take it one step further. Why is there a drive-through for the pharmacy but not for the food? Huh. You ever thought about it? There's fast food drive-thrus. Why has nobody ever done a drive-through at the grocery store? Good food's expensive. Not as expensive as I would say, not as expensive as, say, buying a cruise and then not being able to go on it, right? Or it's expensive, not like a diagnosis, not like insurance premiums for a year. I had this discussion with a couple of people recently, and I want people to really get this. This is getting off a little bit off topic, but we got plenty of time. People that come in and have had problems or conditions for 30, 35, 40 years. And then you say, well, okay, how much has your, there's a place, your copays and your coinsurance, and then you've got your prescription costs on top of that. So when you add all of that up, that's the cost of your health care. And it was so difficult for somebody, well, just a couple people just recently, well, but I didn't pay for that. But, well, somebody paid for it. Who paid for it? Well, it came out of my husband's paycheck. Okay, well, he paid for it. So that was over the course of how many years? Oh, that's, yeah. And you just see this big, giant light bulb go on. I say, okay, all of those premiums and deductibles and copays, did it help the situation that you have right? Not at all. Okay, now you're getting what I'm saying. I had to cover that. So going back to the good food is expensive, does everybody have a little bit of a different take on that now? It's not. No, you're going to either pay for chemicals or you're going to pay for nutrients, one of the two. You can't have it both ways. So your food's the price of living and being healthy on planet Earth. If you pay more, you eat less. How many of you have noticed in a program here, you eat better food, you eat less? How many of you, patients here, patients, everybody who's been a patient here, is a patient here, was a patient here, put your hand up. Now, keep them up. Here's a very telling thing. If we've saved you money on your eating and food and eating out, and put your hand down if we've saved you money. If we've saved you money. It took you a minute. You just started, though. You just got started. You had to think. I saw the gears turning. I saw it. I saw it. That's my mom, by the way, right there. Yeah, I know. I saw the gears turning. I saw the gears turning. I was going to do it a different way, but I figured I didn't want to embarrass anybody or call anybody out. My thing is this. If we teach you how to eat, we're going to save you money, right? It's a no-brainer, because I just told you we're going to save you money from the Super Bowl commercials. We're going to save you money from the premiums and deductibles and the copays. How many other ways can we save you money? Well, I don't know. Let's just see. So when you buy organic, you buy nutrients. We already talked about that. There are only three obstacles that people can have. It's either money, it's convenience, or it's time. When they come in and they want to get started on a program with us, or they see the effects that we've had in somebody's life, or they want to get started, there's only three objections they can have. Really. It's not convenient, I don't have the time, or I don't have the money. It's the same objection with anything. It's the same objection with anything they're going to buy. I want a new house. Okay, do you have time to shop for one? Do you have the money? Or do you have the convenience? You know, does it? Basically, everybody is shopping. There's two things that they're looking for. Every product, everything that they do in life, every product they buy, every place they go, every person they hang out with is either looking for the avoidance of pain or the pursuit of pleasure. We're doing both. We're allowing you better life and decreased pain. We're allowing you to play with your grandkids for another 20, 30 years instead of signing up at the nursing home, and we're allowing you to get rid of the pain at the same time. So there's only 2 reasons why anything is ever sold, even on TV. Look at the commercials. What are they asking you? What are they telling you that they can avoid? You can avoid unpleasant ring around the collar, avoid nasal decongestion, avoid nasal congestion, or the things that they'll have you enjoy, the pursuit of pleasure. Well, you'll be taller, smarter, happier, cuter. You'll look younger. Everything that sells is those 2 things. It's the avoidance of pain or the pursuit of pleasure. We're doing both. That money, convenience, and time thing, those are the only ways that people would talk themselves out of doing what we're doing. So, real quick. Oh, and Alondra, can you grab Hannah and the posters? Yeah. Okay. So, well, I'm just going to skip through all the solutions from Groceryology 101. We solved all those things. Get everything ahead of time, prepare your meals. Last minute panic will surely result in a fast food dinner for you and your family. The best way to end up with a cart full of junk is to go to the store hungry. We talked about that. If you're frazzled or unprepared with no list, that's when you will end up making a whole lot of bad decisions. You've heard that old analogy or the old acronym HALT. Never make decisions when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. HALT. Write that down. That's a keeper. That is a keeper. I saw you, yeah, that's good. That's another Spradlinism for you. HALT means stop. Never make a decision when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. That's big. That might be the reason you came. You never know. Is it hot in here?
Yes.
Can we turn the heat down, please? Alondra, can you let... there we go. Perfect. Can you hit the heat? I'm sweating up here. I'm working. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Oh, and can you grab... yeah, Hannah. We should have figured that out ahead of time. Okay, so the big fix. Oh, and we talked about this. We left this out of the last class. I wanted to cover this too. Somebody asked me about it, and I thought, oh, that was in there. I should have mentioned it. I didn't want to cut you guys short. Food. We talked about, we went to Cook's that night only because it was the closest and some other things came up. Publix has a good organic section. Aldi's. Can we figure out if we can stick these up? Like with binder clips or something? Get creative. Or just tape. Tape would work. Tape would be fabulous. Farmers markets. We'll get there here in a minute. Yeah, we'll get to farmers markets in a minute. I wanted to say Aldi's, Food Lion, Food City, all the other food stores. It's a, yeah, just stick them all. It took me a minute. Hold on. It's right there. Aldi's. Well, we went to Cook's because that was right down the street. I wanted to say this too. You can get your food at, there are farmers markets, there are a few of them around here, and also community supported agriculture, or what's called CSAs. You can find them online. There's a bunch in Chattanooga that deliver and bring stuff over into Cleveland. Basically what that means is, and this is probably a new concept to a lot of people, does anybody heard of CSAs? Yeah? Okay, so community supported agriculture, that is, you buy a share from a local farmer and they bring you or trade you a certain amount of produce for each week. You would have like a certain share. You get a full share or a half share, and you would, each week they would deliver stuff to you, or you would go pick it up at the farmers markets around here, or they would drop it off at certain drop-off locations. That is a screaming deal. I would highly recommend it to everybody. You get more food out of that than, I mean, that's a great deal. Cuts out the shipping, the middleman, all that, and you're dealing with the farmer. The farmer's eating the same food you're eating. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way for people to really get a good sampling of a lot of stuff they've never had before. I left that out. I wanted to explain that. There are also online places like ButcherBox, HelloFresh, yada, yada, yada. You can buy all kinds of stuff nowadays. That's some of the hacks we were going to go into a lot more. But with limited time, I don't want to talk too much about those. I want to get right to the nitty gritty. So we're getting into...
organic
A lot of them are. Yep. Yep, absolutely. A lot of farmers are only going to, you have to check, but a lot of farmers are only going to eat, they know what's up, so they're only going to eat good stuff. So the big thing that you need to get to on all of this, with all of this disease stuff, I'm going to talk about this. I'm not going to write up here, not yet. We're going to laminate that before. These look great, don't they, Virginia? These look great. I want to laminate them before I go destroying them. So the big thing, huh?
I laminated already.
Okay. Oh, I guess I could write on them, huh?
Just be a Sharpie.
Oh, okay. So the big thing that I want everybody to get is that anything can cause anything. So can your headache be caused by your food? Yes. Can your high blood pressure be caused by your food? Yes. Can your back pain be caused by your food? Yes. Can it be caused by your perfume? Yes. Can it be caused by the clothes you're wearing? Yes. Can it be caused by a previous injury? Absolutely. Anything can cause anything. Now, that sugar quiz that y'all filled out, if you filled that out and you have faults on there to more than 4 questions, you might be in need of some help dietarily. So we're not calling anybody out, but the sugar is the big problem. Why are we talking about all this food nonsense? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to change your diet? Well, flip that green piece of paper over that was the sugar quiz, and look at that. We go through this in every class. Why are we talking so much about food? Why does it matter? Look at this. Look at the green sheet. And if you don't have a folder, throw up your hand. So why would this matter? Well, I don't know. Number 19, all the anti-aging stuff out there these days. Sugar can cause premature aging. All the serums and all the Botox and all the wrinkle stuff, the creams and this and that. Who's told you that sugar breaks down your skin faster? Who's ever heard that? Who's ever been told that? No. How about sugar can lead to alcoholism? Number 20. Weird. Never heard that. Sugar can cause tooth decay. You've all heard that one. But what else goes along with tooth decay? Oh, I don't know, maybe 28. Sugar can cause gallstones. Did anybody tell you that before they took out your gallbladder? Probably not. Sugar can cause varicose veins, ladies. Number 33. Number, I don't know, let me see, 55. Sugar can cause emphysema. You get the point. This right here could go on and on and on. The biggest point that I'm trying to make is not all disease is a death sentence. It's not all just a part of aging. It's self-inflicted. So, nutritional deficiencies, organ dysfunction, put a disease right here, and you can bet your bottom dollar that that disease is influenced by your diet. So we can just put up here, put emphysema, put premature aging, put gallstones, whatever. Nutritional deficiencies and organ dysfunction. That right there will save you tens of thousands of dollars, just in and of itself, understanding that every disease has a nutritional deficiency and an organ dysfunction. Whether it's arthritis, whether it's bronchitis, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's constipation, whether it's cancer, whatever. Does that make sense, or does that make sense? This is more simple than you've ever been allowed to believe. You've always been taught that it's MRIs and CAT scans and blood labs and x-rays and colonoscopies. But if you look at this right here, sugar can cause colon cancer. Sugar can cause breast cancer. Sugar can cause anything. How do you know? What do PET scans do? Anybody in the medical industry knows. PET scans, they attach sugar to a radioactive isotope and put it in your body and let the sugar be drawn to the cancer. And then they take a picture of it. And they go, oh, there's the cancer. Because the cancer eats what? Everybody knows that, right? So it's difficult to tell people this, but the whole purpose of what I'm saying is not everything that you've been told is a disease is a death sentence. Not everything you've been told is genetic. Not everything you've been told is something that you have no control over. We're giving you control back, okay? So you just have to admit that your current health is kind of a conglomeration of current habits and previous misinformation. Can we all agree on that? So if you're ready to change things, you're in the right spot. Here we are. So this is what we do. Well, we'll get to this in just a minute. I want to get into the video, actually. We'll get to this in just a second. So the big fix. So if the problem is sugar, what do we do? How can we fix it? We're going to increase, how many of you were here for the last 2 classes? I think we talked about this at both of the last classes. You can only eat 3 things. Well, you can eat a lot of things, but you can only digest 3 things. How many of you remember what they were?
Fats, carbs, and protein.
Perfect. Yep. Were you here at the last one?
I was watching.
Oh, watching from Murphy, North Carolina. Right on. Okay. Wow. You guys are paying attention. This guy takes good notes. Buddy, excellent. Good to meet you. Yes. So yeah, say that again, buddy.
Okay, proteins, fats, and carbs.
Proteins, fats, and carbs. This man is a genius. Yes. Proteins, fats, and carbs. There are only 3 things that you can digest. You cannot digest grass. Part of it you can, not all of it. If you ate a bunch of grass, some of it would come out looking the same as it went in. But proteins, fats, and carbs are the only things that you can digest. So if we have a problem with sugar, like say, I'm not going to write it right now, but if we wrote cancer up here, you have a problem with too much sugar. What does that tell you that you're instantly not eating enough of? How you doing, mister? Come on in. There's only so much protein and fat that you can eat. Ha, I got you. I got you. Ha, I knew. Oh, he took one. You're taking one for the team right now. Yeah. You're gonna make him pay you back, aren't you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I knew I'd get you. Kim, I got him. Perfect. So if your sugar goes way, way, way up, your protein and your fat has to go way, way down, right? If there's only 3 things that you can eat, right? How do we beat the sugar thing? What if we just increased your protein and your fat exponentially? What if we did something like a protein shake? What if we did something like a smoothie? What if we did that? The big fix, one of the biggest fixes, one of the biggest things that you will change for your food, your diet, your breakfast, your family is a protein shake or a smoothie. Call it a smoothie. I don't care what you call it. Some people call it a protein smoothie. Some people call it a protein shake. Shakes, smoothies, I don't care. They're a no-brainer. And I'm not saying this. You can't think GNC, like the big muscle building proteins. You can't think the Slim Fast shakes or anything like that. This is a smoothie that you're just using either water or almond milk or coconut milk or a combination thereof with veggies and a little bit of protein. A protein powder, protein shake with smoothie or with veggies. 2 veggies, 10 veggies, I don't care. But we're going to show you how to do that here in just a minute. Now, if you remember back on the Food Truth class, I said to come to the February 11th event and learn how to do your shakes. That's what we're going to do. And remember, I said call them milkshakes. I don't care what you got to call them. If your kids don't like them, call them milkshakes. That'll be perfect. It'll trick them. They'll love it. And there's really only 3 things that you can mess up: texture, taste, temperature. We'll get into all that later on. And remember from the last class that we did from the Grossiology 101 that we were talking about, we'll show you how the shake, what we're going to do with all the shake. We figured out what to eat. We figured out where to get it. Now we're going to show you how to do it. So I think we're ready to roll that. Let me know when you're ready. And we can kill the lights back there, Alondra. Right? Do you know where to kill this? Oh, behind the door. Yeah. The plug. Or do you need me to chat for a minute, Andrew? Cool. So this is how to do your protein shakes, okay? I'm going to wedge right through here. Can you please be under?
Sarah's not here. She had to go home.
She really should be again.
Yeah.
Hi there, Dr. Brett Spradlin here again for you at Divine Design Natural Health, and today is Nutritional Upgrades. We call this Nutritional Upgrades 2.0. We're going to talk about how to make your vegetable protein shakes or protein smoothies. So we're going to get started on pulling some things out of the refrigerator right now, and I'm going to show you how to make your very own delicious, nutritious, fortified protein smoothie. Now, if you remember when we went to the actual grocery store, I walked you through different types of kale, different types of greens. I said there's 4 or 5 different types of vegetables that you definitely want in your shake every day. Now, we've got all of those laid out right here, and I'll just go through and cut these off. I lay them all out like this for a reason. I have the stems poking out of the bag, okay? I roll the bags back like this. This is exactly how I have them in the fridge. I cut the little bands off right through, boom, 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 real quick. This can take all day if you want it. Not me. Okay? So you just cut those little bands off, you pull them out, and then you fluff these out a little bit so that the water can kind of evaporate while they're sitting in the fridge so they don't rot. Now, I just take a few of these, each ones of these. I take a Swiss chard. I take, this is red kale, very different than the lacinato kale. As you can see, the lacinato kale, kind of another name of that is dinosaur kale because it looks like dinosaur skin. Okay, and this is red kale. So I've got those. And then your beets here, I pull these out. Don't throw the beet greens away. These are very nutritious too. You just chop the tops of these off, chuck them in your shake, wash them, and put them in your shake. And then you work your way down to the actual beet, and I'll show you how to chop those up here in just a second. So we've got beet, and then just a little chunk of ginger. We just scrub that down, and maybe cut that in half and put that in our shake. Then the other thing we have here is spinach. You open this. This is Greenwise. This is organic spinach. And the thing you want to look for is the USDA organic. Right there, see? That's the spinach, and you open that up and get that ready. I'll just lay that aside. Last but not least, over here, I have the original coconut silk coconut milk. Okay, I just grabbed what was there, and this is silk almond. This is original. Okay, there's also chocolate and vanilla. Those are sweetened though, but you can also get original unsweetened. And this is one thing you want to look for too: non-GMO, project verified. That's telling you there are no genetically modified organisms in your food. You want to look for that on everything. And I'll show you a little bit. These tags right here, you should see the USDA organic. This is the rainbow Swiss chard, USDA organic. Okay. This is the Cal organic. These are the beets, USDA organic. A little bit more money, of course. A lot less sickness, of course. Lacinato kale, USDA organic. Here's the red kale. Here's what the tags look like so you can see those. USDA organic. Last but not least, this is the game changer a lot of people forget about. Look at us. Brussels sprouts. Frozen. These kind of act as ice cubes, so this kind of decreases the temperature of your shake and will make it very, very delicious. Now we've got everything laid out. We're going to go select a protein powder so that you can add protein into your shake and get the baddest veggie protein shake you can possibly get. We're going to go right now. Here's a little backstage look at the Divine Design Natural Health. We call it the food room. Supplement room is just too long of a word, so we call it the food room because that's basically what this is. We have a few different types of protein. The main company that we use, main vendor, is called Standard Process. So we have many different types of protein. There's dairy protein called whey, there's plant protein such as rice protein, there's pea protein, there's hemp protein, there's pumpkin seed, sesame seed protein. So Standard Process has a lot of different options. So if we look here, this is a chai flavored pea protein. This here is this is called SP Complete Dairy Free. So that means that's a rice protein. There's no whey in that. There's rice and flaxseed powder in that. Whey Pro Complete. That is a whey. That's whey, and whey is basically dairy with just the protein remain, fat taken out. Here is SP Complete Vanilla. So that's a complete protein between the dairy and the rice. That's vanilla flavored. The SP Complete Chocolate is the same thing. Rice and dairy together, rice and whey together, but it's chocolate flavored. And then last but not least over here, this is the Veggie Complete Pro Vanilla and the Veggie Complete Pro Chocolate. Basically those are pea protein, sesame seed protein, and pumpkin seed protein. So for a special treat today for you, we are going to do a blend of a couple different options. You can do flavorless, you can do chocolate, you can do vanilla, you can do two of them together. So what we're going to do today is one of these, and we're going to do one of these, and you're going to love it. Alright, so now, here's the quickest, easiest way you're ever going to make a breakfast. I also know that you can do these pre-bagged, pre-packaged, like Ziploc bag in your freezer or in your fridge so that you don't even have to chop any of this stuff every morning. You food prep on Sunday and you pull out a bag on a Monday, pull out a bag on a Tuesday, throw it in the blender, throw your milk in, throw the protein in, and you're done. But I'm going to show you how I do it. You can do a variation on any of these themes. So ready? Let's do it. All right, here goes. First thing you want to do is, here I'm going to mix a little bit of almond milk at the top off. First thing you want to do is put the milk in. That makes sure that the blades are covered with liquid. I'm going to make this for, usually the amount that I make is about 64 ounces. And the crew, who I'm sure is hungry.
Yum.
Yeah. So there you go. Now, next thing, just so that the blades and the sides of the Vitamix unit don't get all chunky with protein, you put that into the liquid. I'll do 2 scoops of chocolate. Boom. And a couple of scoops of the vanilla. Once again, that is Veggie Chocolate Pro Vanilla. This stuff's delicious. This is repeat protein. Very high in protein. Then, next thing, a handful or 2 of spinach. It's already pre-washed. Boom. Then we put all of this stuff in here. I always squish it up like this and put it in there so it fits. Oh, and last but not least, you want to put those in last because they're heavy, so that'll weigh everything down. Get that going. And now, as you can see on the Vitamix here, there's an on button, there's a variable speed button, and then there's low and high. Let's get this thing started. Alright, so we just blended up the ingredients. The Vitamix, I recommend these things in a huge way, not only because they run forever, but because they will pretty much blend up anything. So now it's all ground up, okay? I'm going to pour this into a cup and we're going to sample, okay? We just, within a few minutes, showed you how to revolutionize your breakfast. If you give me your breakfast, let me change your breakfast. We just changed 33% of your diet. So just within a few minutes, we put together a very simple video of how to do your breakfast. You do not have to do exactly what we did. You can put anything you would like into it. Just try to go with the high nutrient-dense variety of vegetables. So find us on Google, find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube. If you have more questions, get a hold of us, let us know. Find us in class, give the office a call, 423-800-6800. I am Dr. Brett Spradlin. You can be our next patients. We are Divine Design Natural Health, and we are launching a healthcare revolution. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I knew somebody was going to say that. I knew that. Well, we originally thought we were going to do that here in this room, but I thought, well, that could turn into a mess, and I would never, I don't know, that could have been a bad thing. And then what if somebody didn't like it? You know, it could happen. But I've never really had anybody do the shakes that didn't eventually end up loving them. They just go, why have I not done this forever? Exactly. That's why I'm here. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. This automatically gets you off of the cereal. It automatically gets you off the bread, the toast, the donuts, the bagels, the strudels. It automatically eliminates the oats and all the other stuff. Gets rid of the high carb stuff at the beginning of the day and gets you on very good protein that will last you through. I mean, very rarely do I do lunch. And I'm not saying that that's what you have to do. I don't like to take a break in the middle of the day. I like to push through. If I eat food, it kind of hits me right here and it slows me down. I just don't want to be slowed down. I'd rather go bombing through the week. And then when I get to the end of the week, maybe I'll do lunch then, you know. But I just don't do lunch. I'm not telling you that that's the right thing to do, but for me, that's just what I do. That's just what works for me. Phytochemicals, I want to talk about phytochemicals because what we talked about there, what color was that when we poured it into the cup? What color was that? Huh? Green, very green, right? Chlorophyll is a very important phytochemical. Chlorophyll is the blood of plants. The chlorophyll, the only difference between chlorophyll and your, well, let's just say this. In the middle of your blood cell, in the middle of your hemoglobin molecule, there's iron. There's an atom of iron. In plants, it's a very similar structure, only right in the middle is an atom of magnesium. So chlorophyll is the blood of plants. So the greener you eat, the better you're going to be. Your blood will replenish and rejuvenate, and you will be clean. It's what you were supposed to have been eating all along. Does that make sense? I felt like I needed to spell that out because I wanted to talk about phytochemicals. What are phytochemicals? Have anyone heard of this? What a phytochemical is? Phytochemicals are things like, you've heard of these, lycopene, quercetin, turmeric, glutathione. You've heard of these. These are phytochemicals. They're plant-based chemicals. They're chemicals from plants. They're things that are within plants that we try to synthesize or try to isolate. And all the rage a while back was lycopene for blood pressure, lycopene. Eat tomatoes. Where did it come from? Food. Same thing with, a lot of things. Turmeric, cumin, stuff like that. They're all, phytochemical just means it's something that comes from food. They're all in the parts of the food that a lot of people throw away, like rinds, like stems, like seeds, like skins. Like we were talking about with the beets. Don't throw the beet greens away. I know some stores you go to buy the beets and they've already topped the beets. They don't even leave the greens on. Oh, they're useless little thing. No, that's a very nutritious plant with a very nutritious part of the plant on it. Why would you cut that off? You know, the most nutritious part of the beet is that little spindly thing at the very end. Why? Because that's what's actively digging down into the soil to seek out all those minerals. Alfalfa grows like 15 or 30 feet, something down in the ground, the root system, looking for minerals. That's why alfalfa and kelp are like some of the most nutritious things you can eat, because they're reaching way down into the dirt to grab minerals all the way down. So you don't want to, like I used to peel my beets and oh, what a mess, you know, because red gets all over the place. So that's a hack. You don't have to peel them, just wash them. 2 minutes of blending. If you use one of these things right here to blend for 2 minutes, you are saving hours of chewing. So, nutritional upgrades 2.0. Why are we talking about nutritional upgrades? Because this is stuff right here that can save you a lot of time. It can revolutionize your entire family, your breakfast, and many of your meals. So you can turn those phytochemicals into super available nutrients that people a long time ago had to chew for a long time to get the benefit out of. So this is kind of like a nutritional time machine. It's kind of because what's available nowadays, it allows you to receive the benefit of chewing in minutes, what would have taken hours. And I used to think, when I first learned about these, see, for years I survived on probably I think it was like a $20 Walmart, I think it was a Proctor Silex, I want to say. Does that sound familiar to people? Oh, it was a hunk. But it got me through college, undergrad, when I was making shakes that I didn't even know that, you know, I wasn't putting in them nearly what I'm putting in them now at all. But when I got a Vitamix, I all of a sudden realized, well, I can grind up like cubes of frozen Brussels sprouts. And all of a sudden I started realizing this thing will grind up concrete and drywall. I could drink a house if I wanted to. Wow, this will grind up, you know, this will grind up anything. So I used to think my $50 little Walmart special, I thought that was just the bee's knees. But after a while, I thought, well, no, this is garbage. I need to upgrade. And then I started shopping for one of these things. I thought, oh my gosh, they're $300, $400, $500, $600, $700. What in the world? No way. But then I started going to Starbucks and to other places, and I started seeing, what do they use? There's a reason why, because these things don't break down. So basically, and the time that got me over it, when I realized that, okay, I don't have a problem with a $500 blender, is when I started seeing hospitals charging $1,200 for a toothbrush. That got me over it. That got me over it. So other things. We had prepared a video for you on the AquaTrue unit. We didn't quite have a chance to get that done. We were going to show you the water unit. This class is nutritional upgrades. We wanted to show you kind of what is it that we use for water. Well, we showed you what we use for food. That'll do anything you want. That'll do nut butters. That'll do ice creams. You can do, you want tomato soup? You put a tomato in there, a little bit of cream, turn it on, come back in about 2 minutes, and it's warm. It warms itself up. It goes so fast, it gets hot. So they don't mess around, yeah. So another couple of, it's nutritional upgrades. So we wanted to talk about the food, and we wanted to talk about and show you the units that we use. We do have AquaTrue units for sale. AquaTrue, I'll just talk about it briefly. I don't know if you've got, let me know if you can find those, a picture or two, and I'll just show you. The reason why AquaTrues are so great is for a long time, reverse osmosis units would use 5 gallons of water for every gallon that you got out. So your water bill would go up substantially if you installed one. I have one at home. I have one at the office here. My parents have one. My sister has one. My brother has one. These things are great because what it does, and it's got 4 filters, 2 stages here, and then another stage here and another stage here. This is the pre-carbon filter. That's what filters out all the sediment. This right here filters out all, that's the reverse osmosis unit. So that will take out all the fluoride and the chlorine and all the craziness. This right here is the volatile organic compounds. So there's 3 filters there that you replace, but it's really a 4-stage unit, 4 filter unit. So they're about this big. They sit on the countertop. They're about the same size as this. They're about the same size as a Vitamix. But the thing about this is they plug in, they use electricity, they're very quiet, and instead of 5 gallons making 1 gallon, a gallon makes about 3/4 of a gallon. So they're a lot more efficient. We sell these, we have a good deal on these, and a lot of people see these. Oh, they just got a deal with Aaron Brockovich. How many of you know Aaron Brockovich? Aaron Brockovich just signed on to endorse these. They've been around 3 or 4 years. I got them when they were still in development. Now they're about double the price what they were back then. But Aaron Brockovich, the lady that broke the whole water scandal back wherever it was, I can't remember exactly, but this is like the water unit that she uses. So these are great because they're reverse osmosis. They take out the fluoride and the chlorine. You do not, if nothing else you hear, besides my corny little jokes tonight, if nothing else you hear clicks with you, don't drink your tap water. Just don't drink your tap water. I don't care what somebody tells you, your tap water is not, there's stuff in it that's harmful to you. We'll go into that later on. I teach whole classes on water. I teach whole classes on air. People don't like it. I get it. I teach a lot of stuff that people don't want to hear. I get that. They don't want to know about the fluoride. They don't want to know about the stuff that's in the air. They don't want to know about the drugs and the vaccines and the stuff. I get that. It's hard information to tell people, but before you get to the point where you go, oh, I realize this now. I had to get to the point where I go, oh, I realize it now. But now I have a mission to, now that I know it, I have to tell other people. It's not fun stuff in a lot of ways, but don't get me wrong. This is what can be the difference between life and death for a lot of people. So I just wanted to say real quickly, we didn't have a chance to get into this, but this is the reservoir, the bad reservoir, and it pumps through all the filters here and comes up in the good reservoir. Then you dump this out and you refill it. And this is the little spigot that you put a pitcher or a glass or whatever under, and you just keep a full pitcher of water in your fridge. So you're always just cycling it out. Filters last, well, it depends. Depends on how much water you go through, size of your family. I don't know, I think I spend, I don't know, $60, maybe $100 a year on filters. And you'll go through these filters a lot faster than you'll go through these. I can't even give you a rough estimate on like what a family would go through because I have no idea. But those are the maybe at a later date we'll do the AquaTrue. I know those are going to be on the website later on because we're going to start selling these guys. And the Vitamix, this and all the previous videos we did are going to go on the website, and that's going to be a patient education portal. So I will never again have to answer the question, what do I eat? Or how do you do your shakes? Or what do you put in them? So it's just a way to streamline things, not out of disrespect, just out of being able to save time and be able to effectively change more people's lives. So another couple of hacks that I wanted to show. Ooh, we're right on time. Another couple hacks I wanted to show you. If you don't already know about these things are great. If you do water bottles, you do not have to do these. I'm just using these as an example. If you do water bottles, do not use plastic. Use water. Use glass or use stainless steel or ceramic, okay? This is a glass bottle. This is an example of a glass bottle, okay? Shaker bottles. These are great ways to do stuff on the fly. Shaker bottles, some of them, the old workout ones that I used to use a lot of back in the day, have a little it almost looks like a fan that fits on here. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? A little plastic fan that kind of fits in right here. You put your liquid and your protein powder, and then the little fan thing goes on top. You shut this, you shake it, and it blends up all the chunks. Just protein powder and almond milk or water or whatever you want to do. Now they've kind of replaced, my favorite was the fan thing. Now they've got these little whisks. These little, of course you take the plastic off, put it in there, put all your stuff in here, shake it. It's loud, and if you ever wash this out and put it in your backpack or your briefcase, that little ball is always bouncing around. So I like, whose alarm? I was just testing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I was just testing, just seeing if you're paying attention. No, I didn't know there was an alarm set on that. Another couple things. Stainless steel cups like this. You just have to be careful of plastic at all times, especially hot liquids and stuff like that. So stainless steel cups for coffee and tea and things like that. Another big nutritional upgrade, these things here, okay? These are great. These can make your life so much easier. We tell people about these and things like these, which I'm about to show you all the time, but some people like to write on the bottles of their supplements, like how many they take, this and that. And this is for a bigger program or for people that have to break things up into 4 or 5 things throughout the day. So these are super easy. And then you just pop these, you just pop these out. If you're just gone for a day, you take these with you. Pop them in your bag, pop them in your purse. Great idea. Nutritional upgrades, see, saving you time. Then what we use for supplements here, and I'm going to get a little personal. This is one of my supplement programs right here. So we write. So instead of dealing with a bunch of bags or a bunch of bottles and then writing stuff on the bottle and having to open up a bunch of different bottles each time you do a meal, or like right now, I've got a little congestion because I had a crazy week last week. I was in Miami last weekend, had to get back, drive to Kentucky for a funeral, drive back, had 2 crazy days, and I was just wiped out. But thankfully, because of what I do, exactly what you guys are doing, I'm here. So this is my program for what I'm doing right now, my acute dosage of some things, about 4 or 5 products, maybe 4 products. So we write right here on a little piece of paper that sticks into here. It's a little sticky note. And it says, okay, inositol, I take 2 of those. Thymex, I take 3 of those. Conjuplex, I take 2 of those. So then you just, when it's time to take your supplements, you just open this up. You take 2 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, put them in your hand, or whatever, other little cup, shoot them, and take them. That's it. So when you're on a program, it's easier just to open up one thing and take out however many, but say this is your dosage for the day, 2 of these per day. You just take out 1 of these for breakfast. Later on, take out 1 of those for dinner and move right down the list. Super simple, and that way you're not dealing with all these bottles. This comes in very, very handy as well when you pop this in your purse or your briefcase or your glove box or your suitcase. You hop on your plane, you hop in your car, and you go. And you don't have to worry about 5 bottles. Super easy. Nutritional hacks. Yay! Oh, I see. Okay, I see what we did. Another couple of things. The purification is this guy right here. Now, speaking of protein, that's what this is. This is the Veggie Complete. This is what we talked about earlier. This is pea protein. This is very, very, very high ratio weight to protein. Pea plant is about as high as you're going to get. Pea and hemp are very high protein. Pea is very great. When you do a purification of this, that's one of the testimonials that we talked about earlier when she said she was on day 8 of the purification. It's a 21-day thing. How many of you know it takes about 17 to 21 things, 21 attempts in a row to set up a new habit? 21 days. You do something for 21 days and you're pretty much, you're in a good spot. This right here is part of the purification. The purification program is a 21-day thing. You would do 2 canisters of protein, and then this right here. Oh, you're getting ready. I should tell you guys, you're getting ready. It's on the way. So SP Cleanse and SP Green Food, those are supplements you take during part of the purification, and you'd put whole food fiber, you'd put the fiber into your shake as well. This changes up the consistency just a little bit, but that is the purification. That's a 21-day, basically a 21-day, easy 21-day way to change up your diet and to change up everything that you do in your diet. We talk about water bottles. We talked, and cooler bags. These here, if you don't have one of these, we offer these. We have all these, water bottles and coffee mugs and all that stuff. But this right here, this is a game changer. I remember when they came out with these, I thought, why have these not been around for longer? This is a cooler bag. Oh, and look, it says standard process right on it. These are available. Sometimes we give these away for giveaways. But it's a cooler bag. I thought I'd never seen one of these. It zips at the top. For all the people that say, well, I don't know how to eat on the road. Well, coolers are kind of cumbersome. I get that. But this, it's got a kind of a reflective, so it holds the heat and it holds the cold. Reflective inside. It's got a hard bottom on it, and it zips. And you can carry it with you. I use this for books a lot. This is what I do with this. Such a nerd. So these are cooler bags. So if a cooler is a pain in the backside for you, I understand because they're big and they're clumpy. Cooler bags like this can solve the problem of hopping on the road. Purification. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say, the purification, actually, the 21-day thing that we do with the purification, there's an app that goes along with that. Monitors all your stuff that you eat. Very handy. There's recipes and things on there. Another little nutritional upgrade that we do is we have food logs. If you look in your folders, I believe there is a food log in there on one or the other sides. We used to put them in there. I think we still do. But that right there is a very handy nutritional upgrade because that deals with keeping a bank account for your face. Nobody's ever had to really confront, this is what I ate this week. Wow. It's a very telling exercise for people. So between the Vitamix, the AquaTrue, the purification, the app, the shaker bottles, the cooler bags, water bottles, the coffee mugs, the supplement boxes, how to organize them. I think, does anybody think that that's not enough tools to get you started on changing up your life? There's plenty of nutritional upgrades there. So I've got a few more hacks here in just a second. Screening demonstration. Well, okay, I will say this. We can put together, we're short, we're understaffed right now. Sarah had to go home. We do a screening demonstration. Alondra, let me show you kind of what we do here. I've never done this with you before, have I? You're about to see it firsthand. Screening demonstration. So how do we do all this? How do we do the nutrition? How do we tell what you need? I'm going to show you real quick. Alondra, I've never done this with you before. Okay, so hold your arm out like that and just match my pressure. Good? Good. Let me see. Here we go. Now, close your eyes. Will you be my lovely assistant? And hold your hand out like that. And just do one at a time. Okay. Okay. So we're just testing her body. Wow, none of them. Okay. And seeing if anything. Okay. Oh, and here. Hold this. See if any of those were good for her. Do you feel a difference with that? Now take that back. So that's good and solid. But if we put any of these, oh, you want to try that one? Oh, this is your favorite, isn't it? You know what this is. Okay, so take that away. So just in the clear, eyes open. In the clear, you've got a good strong response. Match that a little bit. There you go. We tried all 4 of these. These were sugars. 2 of them are artificial sweeteners. One was a stevia, and one was just a straight bleached white sugar. Her body didn't like any of those. The only one she tested for was a standard process supplement, which is all food. This is all food, plants and animals. We've never done that with you before. And we'll explain exactly what just happened. Go ahead and have a seat. Thank you. What did I just demonstrate right there? Yes?
I was just
hold them just for a second. What I just demonstrated right there was nutrition response testing. Simple, easy, cut and dried, straightforward explanation of what that is your body has energy going through and around everything. It's called blood. It's very simple. Your body, every chemical, every food, everything you eat has an energy to it. And your body can measure that energy. A lot of people would call it calories, the energy that your body uses, the energy that your body utilizes once it burns through that food. So nutrition response testing is the technique that we use to be able to test your body and see, okay, what's causing the problem? Is it food? Is it chemicals? Is it metals? Is it some kind of immune challenge that's going on? What organ do we need to zero in on? How are we going to fix this? And in which case, with Alondra, the only thing that she tested okay for in that brief little silly example was a food supplement. That's it. Little tablets, okay? That's nutrition response testing. That's the technique that we use. Design clinical nutrition. Basically what that means is it's designed specifically for that person. No person's program is going to be exactly the same as another. And it's designed specifically for you at that moment in time. A year from now, you may not need the same supplements. 6 weeks from now, 6 days from now, you might not need the same supplements. But your body is going to continue rebuilding and regrowing, rebuilding and regrowing, little by little by little. I have these over here too to kind of explain overall health. We're going for overall health. We're not going for a decrease of symptoms. Yes, your symptoms will go away, as all of those testimonials talked about. Your symptoms will get better and better over time, but we're going for overall health. We will never know all of the things that we avoid by you being here. And then the last but not least, the safe and natural. We want to reiterate with people that everything we do here is safe and natural. This is good for breastfeeding moms. It's good for, breastfeeding moms. It's good for lactating moms. It's good for breastfeeding babies. There we go. It's good for older people, younger people, if they're on meds, if they're not on meds, people in wheelchairs, people on feeding tubes. It's all whole food nutrition. Whole food means it's the whole food. What did we put in the Vitamix? Whole food. It was the whole thing. We didn't skin it. We didn't take the stalk off of it. It was whole food. Like if you look in the standard process, one of the main vendors that probably the main vendor that we use, sometimes in the actual supplements it'll say beet greens, actual beet greens, or beets, or it'll say bovine liver, or it'll say bovine pancreas, or bovine heart. That's because most of those things have passed out of the dietary standards of humans as of about the last 100 years or so. So I just wanted to cover some of that just real quick. So now we can go ahead and pass out the survey and we'll get you all out of here. There's a survey going around. So I just wanted to cover it's like a tailor-made, it's kind of like a black suit. You know, Eddie's suit would be different than mine. There'd be a different inseam, different length, different height. Yeah, and if we all need pens, that'd be fabulous. We're just under, do we have the pens going around too? If you need pens, give us a hand. But please fill this out. That way, it lets us know what we can do to help you further, and it helps us know what we need to do to improve, things that you really liked, things that you didn't quite understand. Should we have done more jokes? Should I have stood on my head a little longer?
Pens,
What?
anybody?
Pen.
Pens. Pens, anybody? Pens.
Fill that out right now. Fill that out. But we want to know how we did. So we're finding nutritional supplements exactly right for you at any particular time. It's no magic recipe. It's no one size fits all. And that's kind of where, you know, a lot of people have gotten let down. They thought, well, I take this drug for my heartburn, but it's not the same heartburn as what Uncle Bill had. It's a different heartburn. So that's how it doesn't work some of the times. We're not treating symptoms, we're restoring overall health. No side effects, there's no interactions, infants, babies, it's good for everybody. So we just want to see, fill out your surveys there, and if you're interested in checking out exactly what we do, seeing if it would work for you, we'll be doing a tour at the very end, and then we'll do a quick screening, just like what I did with Alondra, just really quick, just to see if you're even eligible to be a case, if it's something that you would like to do or not.
And also, just real quick, everybody, I'm going to be passing these out too. This is for our next Goal Works. It's going to be on February 25th. It's going to be over how to eat cheap and live sick. I believe he already said. I'm just going to pass it.
Yeah.
Bring family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, people you don't even like. Bring everybody because everybody needs to know this. Okay?
Yes. Yes. So hand those out. Put them up at work. Put them up at the billboards and at the bulletin boards and things. People need to know this information. This was food. A lot of people have a hard time. A lot of people have a hard time getting a handle on the food thing. That's why it takes weeks. You come in, you start as a patient. It takes time. You don't do this overnight. This takes time. We threw a lot of info at you tonight. Some of it might have been remedial for some of you. If you've been watching us, if you've been stalking us on Facebook for years, you know, it might be kind of remedial. But with a lot of people, this is where they need to start. So that's the majority of all the things that we wanted to cover with you tonight. But I encourage you, if you're ready to get started, do it. You're here for a reason. Somebody told you about us. You're here for a reason. It's time to pull the trigger. You know the drugs aren't working. You don't want the surgeries. This makes more sense than anything you've heard. It's time to do it. Oh yeah, questions on Facebook,
Okay.
yes.
First of all, Rick barely. Wait. Hold on. Microphone. Here we go. Hold on. First of all, Justin Gregory said, I love my, when you were talking about shakes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he said, I love my shakes, eating Pop-Tarts every morning for years, and now I do my shakes every morning, and it is a game changer. It's even nice to prep for the shakes, so little effort in the morning.
Right on. Justin said that. And I'm sure Justin wouldn't mind me saying, well, Justin started what, 3 weeks ago, maybe?
3.
3 weeks ago. And he said it's a game changer,
Yes.
getting away from the Pop-Tarts every morning.
Yes.
Right on. Wow. So
And
take
then-
that. Yeah, read that one more time. That's great, Justin. Yes.
He said, I love, and this is capital LOVE,
Oh, capital
with a bunch of
LOV.
exclamation marks.
Oh, geez.
Said, I love my shakes, eating Pop-Tarts every morning for years, and now I do my shakes every morning, and it is a game changer. It's even
Yeah.
nice to prep for the shakes, so little effort in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, so little effort. So thank you, Justin. You just reiterated everything so people don't think I'm crazy here. Thank you, buddy.
And then Deb Robinson, she said, great video on the protein shakes. Love my Aqua True and Vitamix.
Oh, yes, Deb. Love you.
Jamie told you to take elderberry supplements.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jamie.
And then this few people saying they want cooler bags. Let's see. And there's one more.
Ooh, giveaways.
I think that's it.
Cool. All right, free stuff. Who wants free stuff? Yeah? All right, Markham.
Wait, did we have any questions?
Ah, right here. Oh, yeah, we can answer some questions. Yeah. Here you go, sir. Wow.
And give
Winning.
away the
Free
bag
stuff
first.
already. Oh, okay. Mackenzie. Oh, should I say a little something, Colleen?
It's just all natural skincare products.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Colleen, it says a little stuff right here, how sweet it is. And, okay, yeah, how sweet it is. Natural skincare products. So Colleen makes this, she's from Murphy, North Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, well, what world?
Yeah, yeah, look at you. You won some stuff. Yay. Oh, and I should sign off before we give away. Yes, I always forget. Oh, cool, everybody's, oh, cool. Word. Okay. We're going to sign off on Facebook, and then we're going to talk about the real stuff. But this is Dr. Brett Spradlin, Divine Design, Natural Health. Thank you so much. Like this, share it, send it out. Yay! Thank you. Cool.